The 100 billion naira cotton textile garment intervention fund, which has started to make significant and positive impact in Nigeria's textile sector, was formally launched in December 2009 by the federal government.
I want to announce the launching of the 100 billion naira textile and garment rehabilitation fund, and will be managed by the Bank of Industry in a sustainable manner over a period of time.
For the nation's cotton and textile sector, the initiative held very bright promises for the revival of their operation, which had suffered serious setbacks. In its heydays, during the mid-80s, the textile industry directly employed over 500,000 people with over 170 mills. Soon after, Bank of Industry was appointed to manage the CTG fund in line with its mandate, which is providing financial assistance for the establishment of large, medium and small projects, as well as expansion, diversification and modernization of existing enterprises and rehabilitation of ailing ones. Some of the low-hanging fruits of the intervention are already being harvested. Moribund mills have started operations and signages are being formed across the nation among some of the beneficiaries. Business relationship between companies such as Femro 3 in Lagos, Adhama Textile and Terytex in Kano State. Alhaji Mohammed Al-Ali, the Executive Director Operations in Bank of Industry, tells us more about this laudable business collaborations.
When we look at the value chain of the industry, mainly it started with the cotton and end with the textiles. The garmenting was just very scanty and more or less is a standalone. But we decided to also integrate it to be part of the full value chain. And we discovered that in that garmenting there are a lot of players doing their things on their own. I'll give you two examples. We have a company in Kano called Adhama Textiles. They do t-shirts and some fans and all that kind of thing. We have another company in Lagos here, Femro 3. They're doing the same thing, but they're in a different market. Like Adhama in Kano, it will source his raw material by either importing from India or China, while Femro 3 here in Lagos can produce the same kind of raw material he needs. Those are competitors, but we said they're always synergy in competition. Seeing this guy have excess of the raw material, why don't you supply Adhama? Whereby you reduce cost of doing business for Adhama, and for him to also raise revenue. They started well, and I think they're very good friends. Those are competitors, but in that side, they're doing their business in such a way that the competition that really doesn't matter, because Adhama is in Kano, it's serving a different market. Femro 3 is here, it's serving a different market. What we do always to try to encourage them to find how they can use the excess capacity. Like the case you mentioned, Terytex produces, but they don't have the capacity to do the finishing. Adhama has the finishing facilities, but they don't have the capacity to produce much. So there are two added capacity on both sides. So we try to bring the two together. And at the end of the day, that will help in enhancing production and creating more employment. A market is for better for both of them, because these are two different things they are doing. So that will work well. Also, in the same industry, where we have the opportunity of sharing common facilities. We have, like, when you go to Kano, I think we have two or three companies that are now using common bleaching facilities because they need to bleach, but they're not the same product. Like one is doing towel, one is doing t-shirts. They can use common facilities to bleach or use steam or all kind of stuff. So I think that's working very well for now.
Femro 3 Nigeria Limited is one of the first beneficiaries of the CTG fund from BOI, and Mr. Felix Igbamuno is a managing director and chief executive officer.
The CTG fund we're the first beneficiary, and it has assisted us a great deal, and since the takeoff and we were able to access the money, we've had adequate working capital. Our production capacity had more than doubled. Our factory is practically working 24 hours, 6 days a week. And apart from fund being available, we've been also getting advice from the professionals inside the Bank of Industry who had assisted us a great deal in maximizing our production and optimizing our production. Before the fund took off, we had about 95% of the textile industry in Nigeria down. They were down and out. Some of them had closed down for quite some time. Some of them had their compounds overgrown by weeds somewhere in the hands of receiver. We were also very close to total collapse before the CTG came in. But you see, good industrial funding for the textile sector is one of the factors that will be responsible for the revival of the textile sector.
The company, though situated in Lagos, southwest Nigeria, gets its cotton yarn from the northern part of the country. The yarn is woven into fabric and then supplied to Adhama Garment Textile in Kano State.
I'll give you a few examples. One good example is Adhama Textile in Kano. They are also beneficiaries, but then they are in the process of importing their own knitting machines and setting up their own modern processing plant and all that. But all that will take time. We already have a very modern plant in place and a very modern knitting facility in place. So in the meantime, we service their garments department by producing fabric, and we sell fabric to them. There are other companies like Holy Pearl. I'm sure their own application is under consideration. Maybe their own approval will also be out. It's a big garment company in Lagos. We produce fabric for t-shirts for them, for their garment companies. There are companies like Terytex. They are also beneficiaries. They have an approval, you know, and I know that they are in the process of opening LCs for machineries to come in. But in the meantime, our plant produces fabric for Terytex also. You know, that's what has been happening between beneficiaries. You know, we collaborate, and areas where because it's not common for a garment factory to also have a textile manufacturing outfit. You know, so we are just few in the country that are so integrated that we can our value within the value chain. Our process starts from consumption of yarn to through processing, through garment production to branding. You know, so there are many garment companies who will be looking for fabric. They come to us to buy the fabric because we manufacture this fabric, and the best quality in the country is made here, 100% cotton.
Alhaji Sa'idu Antijo is the managing director of Adhama Textile and Garment Industries Limited.
Adhama Textiles and Garment Industry is 100% indigenous company and use 100% Nigerian cotton. It was established in 1978 and started production January 1979. We started with 17 workers and rose up to 335 workers. We have passed through so many smooth and turbulent economic periods over this period. The intervention of Debt Management Office and the BOI, Bank of Industry, has raised our hope. We are now about to install new machines, about to rehabilitate some of our old machines, and then already we have started purchasing cotton, commissioning it for spinning, ready for takeoff again. Fortunately, even with the present situation, we have not even taken off fully. We are now having about 40 workers as against 24 before the intervention of BOI. And we hope by the middle of this year, hopefully we will reach up to 100 workers.
The company, which started as a small sewing factory, has since grown into an integrated knitting, dyeing, sewing and finishing of fabrics gotten from Femro 3 and Terytex Nigeria Limited.
You see, with the present situation, Tofa is a Nigerian, Terytex is a Nigerian, I am a Nigerian. Right now, we have started making arrangement with Tofa on how we will be benefiting from each other. The facility, what they have, we make use of it for a fee, reasonable fee. What we have and they don't have, we provide to them for a fee, reasonable fee. The same thing we have already started with Terytex. Like their finishing department, they have excess capacity of weaving. So they sometimes have backlog of gray fabric waiting for processing because their finishing department's capacity is not big enough. And we have excess capacity in that finishing for 100% cotton. For 100% cotton. So they bring part of it, maybe about 1/4 or 1/3 of what they have as backlog. Then we process it for them for a fee. That is in the finishing department. In the sewing department, where we have the bigger chance of serving each other, they have smaller capacity of sewing department. We have much bigger capacity of garment department, the machines. So whatever they produce in terms of baby napkin, in terms of handkerchief, then they bring it to us. We do all the sewing, the trimming, and so on, the packaging, and we send them to them for a fee. At the same time, in the yarn dyeing department, sometimes that one is very negligible quantity. When they have big order for yarn, dyed yarn, they bring it here. We dye it for them, and we give them back, and they do their weaving with it. At the same time, what they weave, they bring it back here, and we do the sewing part of it for them. So we help each other. We keep each other in production. Faisal is in Lagos, you see. He's also a Nigerian. And whenever we have any business that relates to, we are in the same line. We do knitting, they do knitting. We do finishing, they do finishing. We do sewing, they do sewing. But whenever one of us has bulk order that he cannot do within a given period, we will rush to each other. We'll either buy the fabric, we have started patronizing them, buy the fabric from them, bring it here, we do the sewing, and supply it to whoever is the customer. He was also mentioning some times back that he is eyeing certain order that will come to him. He will immediately, he asked me whether I have the chance. On telephone, I said quickly, anytime you are ready, send it down. We'll do the sewing. We have a very big capacity for sewing. It's only a matter of calling the tailors back to come take their machines. We already have some serviceable machines yet. The new ones are yet to come. By the time he brings the order, or whoever brings the order, will quickly. So we have very good understanding with the Nigerian textile investors.
Terytex Nigeria Limited, also situated in Kano State, is another beneficiary of the CTG scheme. Mr. Anand Ganti, an Indian with over 30 years of experience in the textile sector, is the managing director.
Well, we have taken the loan under CTG scheme from Bank of Industry. In fact, we had, even before CTG scheme, we had taken we had an offer letter and we made a commitment also through your Kaduna office, but that we could not draw down because of some technical problems with our partners in First Funds. So now that this CTG scheme has come, we have again applied, and I am glad to say that it has gone through, everything has gone through very well. And as you have just seen, our first consignment has come of machinery, has just arrived today. And hopefully by end of March, everything will be in place. By end of March, everything should be functioning. And that makes us independent of for our raw material in terms of yarn. At least today we are totally dependent on outside factories, other factories for our supply of yarn. So that will be one good aspect of it. Secondly, we will be able to make towels in terms of provide hotel logos and special occasions or any design or color or whatever, which capacity we do not have at present.
The company produces products such as towels, napkins, bed sheets and baby shawls, among others. Items produced are on high demand all year round. As a result of this, Terytex contracts the finishing of its product to Adhama Textiles Nigeria Limited.
Kano, there are, I think, 4 companies are availing. Even African textile manufacturer, I think also they are one of the beneficiaries of this scheme, I think. With Adhama Textile, this company has long time relationship since 1980s. We know them and we have worked hand in hand with them. But we help each other. They help us sometimes, we help them sometimes.